Hello, y'all. My name is Catherine. I'm an artist. I thought I would share some of my art and some of my crazy tales about my life. So let's get going. Today's story time is about a friendship gone bad. This is an on again, off again friendship. There were many red flags, and sadly, I'm a give 'em another chance kind of gal. This person took advantage of that hardcore. It starts back in my early 20s. I had just gotten a job at a nice restaurant and was always eager to make new friends. This person was going to train me, and we became friends. Let's call her Karen. This isn't her real name, but I'm sure she'll find this, and she still manages to find me on the internet nowadays. Let's get to the backstory. In my first few days of working, in this new job, she chatted with me and found out that we almost lived on top of each other. I live in a big county, and it takes about an hour and a half to drive from the north part of the county to the south. And this county was about 2 counties away, so it was weird for us to meet so far away from home. But we started to hang out after work and sometimes carpool. At this time, she was pregnant with her daughter, and her boyfriend was about to go to jail for hitting her. She came to me and asked me if I would stay with her while her boyfriend was in jail and help with the bills. I know, kind of a big monster red flag, but I'm not perfect at all, and I felt bad that she was going to be alone and pregnant. What I didn't know at the time was the part of the reason that he was going to jail is because he spends a lot of time in jail. He went to jail once a year for a while. This is his version of a staycation, I guess. In a few days of staying there, I found out that she had a huge crush on this young guy at work. He was 18, fresh out of high school. She was 22, 23 at the time, and he was head over heels for her because she was beautiful, confident, smart, and he thought that she was the one. They started to hang out at her place. So I was watching her charm this kid, noting she was dating a guy that would beat the shit out of her if he knew that she was cheating on him with this kid. What did I do? Nothing. I told her not to do it, but that was just about it. I didn't think I could stop her. Let's get real. I couldn't. She was going to do what she wanted to do. I should have ended the friendship, but I didn't. Also, I did something stupid too. I put her phone in my name so she could talk to her jailbird boyfriend. They got hot and heavy relationship wise, and she kind of kicked me out. More like I just stopped staying there and went back to my other home. Looking back on it, I think she wanted her boyfriend to think I was staying there so she can move this other guy in. But I'll never know for sure. Her boyfriend was set to get out of jail soon, and she had to break up with this kid right before he had to go to work. He took it hard is an understatement. Where we work, it's busy on Friday nights, and he was serving. Drinks were taking a while because they were so busy, and he got upset with the black bartender and called him the N word, then ran to the back. While this black guy, as you probably guessed, wasn't happy, followed him into the back and beat the ever living snot out of this kid. That was the last time I saw him. She never spoke to him after that. This all happened in just a few months. I think her boyfriend was in jail for 3 months, and to this day, I don't think her boyfriend ever found out. I do know that he was out of jail by the time that she had her daughter. After all that had happened, I still hung out with her from time to time. Eventually, they got into selling drugs to help pay bills, mostly pot because when they sold coke, people would knock on their doors at all hours of the night, and the money wasn't worth it in the long run. After a while, we drifted apart. I think mostly because I was asking for the money for the phone bill they never paid. They moved out to the country with a friend that Karen knew since they were kids. I would only visit every so often, and one day she dropped off the face of the planet. Then one day I was in Mickey D's, and she came and sat next to me and caught me up on everything that was going on. She had moved back to the area I was living in, and they were making another move far northeast of our county. She had gotten a really great job, and the company her husband worked for moved out to that part of the county, and they wanted to get a place out there. They had gotten a boat, a new Jeep, and was living a great life. I was homeless, couldn't afford to really eat, and I told her that my number hadn't changed and she could hit me up whenever she wanted. Oddly, I didn't hear from her for what I want to say is a little over a year. I had gotten my own place and was doing much better than I had. Karen contacted me via Facebook and wanted to be my friend again. Yippee! I have a friend that I could hang out with again. She went into detail about how she caught her husband cheating on her, in her words, with an ugly chick. She apparently caught them in the act. As they were breaking up, she decided to make an OkCupid account and started meeting other guys while they were talking about fixing their problems. Let's get real. She hooked up with other guys, and he was hooking up with the side chick, and they just didn't tell each other. He found out, broke her phone. I think he hit her. She would never really say, and he left. Left her with all the bills and a child to support. She went off the deep end looking for guys. She would hook up with any guy that would give her his address. A few times she invited me out saying that she just wanted to hang out, but really all she was going to do was meet up with some guys she met online. I was the other option. I do have to explain this a little. Sometimes women will take ugly friends out when they're trolling for a new guy. This is a way to make yourself look better. I mean, look at your other options. Look at these other girls kind of thing. I realized when she asked me to hang out with her, only to find out that it was a date for her and another guy. I didn't know this until I was there. She ditched me to hang out with him. She found me later when she was done. She took me home. She had to drop me off before she had to go hook up with this other guy, and that the only reason why she was even talking to this guy was because her other friend wanted to hook up with him. I was so stupid. I thought she really wanted to be my friend. I wanted a friend so badly that I let her use me. I did this a few times till she found the perfect guy. I don't even think I got his name. All I knew was that he was perfect. He had a job, he owned his own home, and was really looking for someone to spend the rest of his life with. So my birthday rolls around, and my birthday is smack dab in the middle of December. With all the birthday wishes was one from her telling me that she wanted to get lunch for my birthday one day. Just her and I. I said it would be great. Pick a time and I'm game. We were all set, time and day, and I got ready and waited and waited. And I texted her asking her when she was going to be by, and she said that she was on her way. So I waited for her to never show up. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was hurt. I had been ditched. She messaged me the next day saying something happened at work and that she was really sorry and that she would make it up for me and take me out for New Year's. I understood, yet again, forgave her. I didn't have a car at the time, and this will be important in a second. So New Year's Eve rolls around, and she started to text me all day telling me that we were going to go out, that she was going to take me out for dinner. I asked her if I could stop by CVS for a second so I could pay on my light bill, and she said no problem. So I waited. 30 minutes. She was late. So I texted her again. She said that she was in traffic and was on her way, and to start walking to CVS, and she would pick me up from there. The CVS was a mile away, and I was, well, it's just a mile, right? She'll pick me up. So I walked there and paid my bill and texted her, where are you? She said that she was on her way and that she was excited to see me. So I waited. and waited and waited and didn't get a text back. I walked home. During the walk, I thought about all the lies, all the crap that she had put me through, and how she was never going to change. I got to my front door and sent her one text telling her to never text me again, that I was done with the lies, and I was done with her using me for the last time. Oh, you thought this was the end of my stupid, and that I wised up and never talked to her again. Oh, you have no idea how deep my stupid is. It was so deep that it only took a year and a half before I let her back into my life. One day, I got a friend request from her. I accepted it and left it at that. Well, for a few weeks. She starts messaging me on Facebook Messenger. She wants to catch up. Karen tells me that she has been through a lot since the last time we talked, and she's grown up a lot. I told her it didn't matter. I was a bridge that she burned, but I would still hear her out. Apparently, the perfect guy broke up with her. She was now living with a coworker of her ex-husband, and she didn't have a car. She didn't even have a job. She was hating life, and it had brought her down to earth. I told her that that was great, and sometimes you have to drink some humility. She begged me to be her friend and then to give her a second chance, and she would never lie to me again or take advantage of me. I told her that I didn't think that she would ever change, and I would only help her if she never did it again. The second I thought that she was lying to me, I was done. Honestly, I didn't think she would change. I just thought making damn sure. So I hung out with her for a week. And yeah, she was in a bad spot. She asked me if we could get a place together, and she swore up and down that she would help pay bills and wouldn't screw me over. Now, at this time, I was living in a really cheap place, and I was working as a server, not making a ton of money. This workplace was a whole nother story time, but I said no because I didn't think money-wise I could swing the cost. Even if we halved everything, I couldn't pay for things like internet or TV. And she said that was fine. She just needed the lease in my name. What? Why do you ask that? Now, in the state that I live, if you have an eviction on your credit, you cannot move into any place that does credit checks. And everywhere does credit checks. Like hell, I was going to put that at risk. Folks, I didn't make a lot of money. I will never be able to own a home. I will always have to rent. I will always have to have my credit spotless of evictions. I was not in a spot where I could afford to rent a nice place and let her live with me on the bill. Oh, I forgot to mention, there was a new boyfriend in the picture too. That will be important in a minute. I told her that she was going to have to figure something out, but first she would need a job. She did that and also got her income tax at the same time. She was going through training with this girl in her early 20s that had just moved to Florida and was looking to get out on her own. I have no idea how she did it, but she talked this stranger into signing a lease for a 2-bedroom, nice apartment. This apartment was $1,000 a month. This girl could not afford it on her own. And what did Karen do? Well, they worked together. So Karen got letterhead from her job and wrote a letter saying that this girl made twice as much as she was. And she was able to get the apartment and they moved in. I'm seeing all kinds of red flags. I know money would have been really tight for her just to make rent, but they bought a brand new TV, a couch set from a rent-to-own place, and put it all in the girl's name. But don't worry, they were splitting the cost. It was using the girl's brand new car. I'm watching this train wreck because I'm babysitting for her, and she was supposed to be paying me. I asked her how she was going to be able to afford all of this because I know she didn't have a lot of money. I have a job. I'm making it. No, Her ex-husband lost his job and got his 401k money. He asked her to pay child support because he couldn't get to the child support office. He has 2 kids, one with her and one from a relationship beforehand. I think he gave her a few months' worth of money, and she told him, no problem, I'll pay for it. Then told his ex that he didn't give her any money and that he was lying. What the hell, Karen? Really? I started to notice her boyfriend was around a lot and that he wasn't helping her with any bills. She said that it was because they weren't living together and he shouldn't have to. Then him and his 3 kids were staying there a lot. And I was like, Karen, did you have him move in? She said that he was only staying there until his mom moved out and gave him the house. When is that going to happen? I don't know. I think they're still waiting. She moved in his 3 kids and her daughter into this 2-bedroom apartment. This poor girl is living in a closet while a bunch of people move in under her lease, and she can't move out without messing up her credit. So I'm seeing the writing on the wall. Apparently, I start getting reasons as to why she can't pay me. The breaking point. She was about 2 weeks behind on paying me and starts telling me how great her new boyfriend was and that he was going to be a comic book artist and that he was on Instagram and he was making all these connections and within the next year they were going to move to LA and he was going to get his comic book made and then have it turned into a movie. This was all going to happen because he has 3K likes on Instagram and he had big dreams. She was going to be rich and never have to work again. I was the stupid one and pointed out that that was never going to happen, that she really needed a reality check. He works for the prison and is in a 2-year contract. He can't go anywhere, much less LA. Just because you have a bunch of followers on Instagram doesn't mean you can get your stuff made so fast, much less into a movie. Plus, the next 10 years of big movies have already been set. Well, she didn't like that at all and told me that I needed to watch because he was going to be big. Whatever. A few days later was her payday. She swore up and down that she was going to pay me the money she owed me. I was watching a daughter and I sent a text asking when she was going to be home, if she was going to have my money. She said that she couldn't because some weird Apple charge came through her account and she had to get a new credit card. Bullshit, Karen. That never happened. You lied to me. This just so happened to be on the day that you owe me money. Yeah, right. I will not go into heavy detail about the conversation, but I called her out on it. She spent all her money, $5,000 in income tax, the money that her ex gave her, plus her paychecks, and I'm sure that the new boyfriend was helping her out. She could have paid me the $100 that she owed me. Right. I'm done. Her boyfriend came and got her daughter, and apparently she wasn't at work like she said she was. They went out. I haven't talked to her since. She tried to make an Instagram account about a year ago and started to follow me, but I blocked her because I couldn't have her back in my life. I did check and see that yes, she's still in her hometown. No, he hasn't published his comic. That poor girl racked up all these bills and I have no idea what happened to her. I hope she didn't drown in credit. I'm really picky about my friends now. I only have a few ride and die friends that take care of themselves. But I've learned a lot from the friendship, not only about how bad people can be, but how much my friendship is worth.